So in this video, I just want to simplify how to beat tennis trading on Betfair and how to be profitable consistently. And once you know and understand the one secret that we're going to be revealing in this video, I do believe it will help you hugely with understanding what you must do in order to make regular profits from this trading sport. All will be revealed, all will become clear. So go grab a nice cold beer or a Bucks Fizz and let's get into it. So it's definitely fair to say that tennis trading itself is one of the best kept secrets on the Betfair Exchange, with the majority of traders going after football or horse racing, which is all well and good. There is lots of money to be made in those sports, but for those who do discover tennis trading, they see all that money flying around, but they often give up straight away because it's not immediately apparent how you would go about trading it. Now, I've put up some videos recently, so hopefully a lot of you have got a much better idea. But if you are new to tennis trading, you stumble on the market, you might look at this and you might see, look, there's been £1 million turned over in this pretty low profile match. But the market, it just looks a little bit foreign. I mean, there's no later draw. There's no real obvious indication of which way the market is going to move depending on who scores the point. And so I can imagine that a lot of people do get a little bit scared off. In football trading, we all know what we're doing. We're either waiting for a goal to be scored or not. But in tennis, the markets move with every point. And so let me just show you a chart from this same match. And this will probably tell you why a lot of people do like to trade tennis and why there is so much money flying around in this particular sport. There is more money turned over in tennis than there is turned over in football. However, football is the most popular sport in the world. So you can have a think as to the reasons why that is. So anyway, look at these swings. You can see that this is a really, really great sport to trade if you know what you're doing. Okay, a newbie who goes into this is probably going to end up on the wrong side of all these swings and then do their brains in. But if you're on the right side of these swings, this can be a very, very profitable sport. So anyway, you're watching this video because you want me to reveal the secret. And how do you ensure you're on the right side of all those price swings and in a position to profit? Well, let me just explain the secret behind tennis trading and what we're really, really doing when we're trading tennis. Not a lot of people truly get this. Some people who've even tried to trade tennis still don't get this, okay? But what we're doing when we're trading tennis is we're spotting moments when the markets are wrong in play. Okay, this has nothing to do with pre-match at all. Very rarely ever touch the markets pre-match. But you're spotting moments when the markets are wrong in play. And then we're looking to profit from the price correction. Okay, it is that simple. And I'm going to explain more in this video. I'm going to show you some real life trading examples so you can get a much better understanding of this. But that is pretty much it. You're just spotting very short-term moments when the markets are wrong and then profiting from the price correction. If that price correction happens, if it doesn't, then you'll have to take a loss. But that is pretty much the aim. It is that simple. Now, I'm sure there's a few skeptics and a few trolls watching this video saying, nope, the markets are never wrong. The markets are 100% efficient. You can't beat the markets like that. The house always wins, all that sort of thing. Well, I beg to differ, and I can give you evidence of this. This is just a few tennis trading charts that I took screenshots of, and I could get there is a lot more where that came from. Now, if the tennis markets were efficient, you're not seeing all that movement up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. Wouldn't surprise me if one day we see it go backwards and then forwards. Okay, it really is that crazy in the tennis markets. So if you're looking at those charts, that is just a few charts, and honestly, I could find a lot more of those just in your average tennis market. Now, does this look like a market which is efficient and is confident in the pricing? Okay, it's confident in knowing the winner of a tennis match. Okay, now I'm not arguing that maybe the markets are efficient if you're taking a betting point of view, just having a bet. Probably they are, but as tennis traders, that's not what we're doing. I told you the secret. We're looking for times when that market price looks a little bit incorrect, and then when the correction happens, we take the profit. So just to go back to that original chart, okay? And do leave me a comment below to let me know whether you agree or disagree with this. Healthy debate is always welcomed. But have a look at this chart. Okay, you can see that Alexandrova was 1.7 favorite. Okay, so that means that the markets say that she has a 60% chance of winning the match. And maybe the markets are pretty efficient if you're just taking a bet at the start of the match. But remember, as tennis traders, it's our job to do what I revealed in the secret earlier on and just spot times when the prices are wrong in play and take advantage. And you can see here is the first opportunity was very early on in the match. She went down to a price of 1.1, which meant that she was now 90% probability at winning the match, according to the markets. But lots of time left in the match. So this is an opportunity where we could say, well, I think the prices are wrong at this particular moment, and we're going to look for a correction. Okay, so you would lay her. So you would lay Alexandrova at this low price. Correction comes in. She goes back up to 1.7. Price is corrected. And then, well, look what happens again. She goes down again. It corrects. Down, corrects, down, corrects. It goes really, really low. Like down to like 1.04, I think, from the looks of that. And just keeps correcting. So lots and lots of opportunities, okay? And keep in mind, you know, we're going to be laying Alexandrova. We're going to be backing her during the match. But whether she wins or loses the match is absolutely irrelevant to us as tennis traders. We are profiting from that movement, the movement that comes in. That's all we care about. And honestly, I trade some tennis matches. I couldn't tell you who won. I'm really not interested in who's winning. I'm just looking at that short-term movement. Is she overpriced or underpriced? Let's get in. Let's wait for the correction. Let's get out with our profit. And then if we can repeat it, let's do that again. Okay. And just for curiosity's sake, anyway, it was the underdog who actually won that match. Okay. And Alexandrova traded as low as 1.04 in this match as well. Okay. But like I said, it really is irrelevant who wins the match in the end. It is all about the price movement. That is what we're looking to do as tennis traders, okay? And I'm going to get into some real life examples of this and show you some actual real trades where we're trading based upon this actual principle, okay? I'm going to get into these right now. But I do just want to stress that currently the doors are opening to the premium course, Ultimate Tennis Trading. And as I upload this video, there's still a few spots left with the doors fully slamming shut on Friday at midnight. This will be the first time we've opened this course in over a year. And who knows, could be the first time it's open for another year. Okay, so if you miss out, you could be waiting a long time. But within the tennis trading course, you do get 5 strategies which will take advantage of all the market swings like you've seen. And most importantly, we show you how to find the matches where these market swings are most likely. Okay, so if you are interested in getting in, click the link in the description, submit your very best email address. And if there are still spots left, you should get an email back within the next 24 hours. If not, then we can add you to the waiting list for the next time. But as mentioned, everything you need to learn how to trade tennis, even if you've never traded it before or have no clue about the sport at all. That is who this course is designed at. Okay, so the link is in the description. Click that, submit your very best email address, one you check very regularly so you don't miss out. And like I said, the doors are going to slam shut 100% Friday at midnight. But based on what you've seen so far, here is a quick beginner's tip, and it is to lay low and back high when you are trading tennis, and just really look to lay prices below 1.4. Now, I've done a few videos recently where you can kind of get an idea of the very best strategies, but if you want to keep it low risk, then you couldn't do much worse than looking to lay prices when they do go below 1.4 and then looking for that swing upwards. Okay, and I'm not saying to lay players that are already priced below 1.4. We're just looking for maybe players that were started higher and then they dip below 1.4, and it is like Summer said, it is like we buy the dip and then we look for that price to swing back up. And pretty much the best tennis traders in the world are doing exactly that. They're rarely opening positions by backing players at high prices. The big money makers are opposing the players that are actually winning and going against the markets. Okay, and I remember where I went wrong when I first started to trade tennis was I was doing things like backing Federer or Nadal at short odds, trading out when they went ahead, which works well for a while, but one losing trade destroys you. It's almost like laying 0-0 in football. Okay, So anyway, that is the main beginner's tip to take from this video. But I also just want to give you a quick overview of how do we even spot when these prices are wrong. Okay, now we can do a bit of pre-match research, which can give us an idea of where the prices should be, whether players are a lot more even than the market suggests. Sometimes you get situations where there's a really strong favorite, but by looking at the pre-match research, we realize, well, actually, maybe that player shouldn't be such a strong favorite. And those are the really good matches for finding great price swings. You can also just watch it in play, and you could look for either a favorite who is underperforming or an underdog overperforming. Okay, those are the situations where you're going to start to really see those markets go parabolic. Okay, now keep in mind, you do need a break point to be converted for these swings to happen. But if you see a really strong favorite and an underdog is matching them, and say it gets to 2-2, 3-3 or 4-4, then it's a pretty big indication that maybe that favorite is not as strong as the market suggested, and the price swings are about to kick in. So you can put yourself in a good place to catch that. But you know what? I'm just going to dive into some actual real life trades that I did with this, and so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But before I do that, if you're liking this video so far, please do click the like button. Do help to support the channel. Okay, if you are learning, if you're picking up any useful tips, remember these videos are absolutely free, and the way to support the channel is just clicking the like button. Okay, and yeah, once that's done, let's move on. And so we're going to start with a pretty serious example of going against the market, spotting a price in play that was clearly wrong at that moment, and it was about to correct. And so in this match, we are opposing the mighty Roger Federer, which is not something many will do. He's a huge market favorite, probably one of the best to ever play the game. So your average punter is not really going to be going against him. They're probably going to be backing him, thinking it's free money. But in this case, he was a 1.15 favorite at the start of the match. He scored a break point, first game of the match, and went on to win that first set. However, just looking at that first set, you can see it was actually a pretty tight first set. Okay, 6-4. So is he playing as strong as a 1.15 favorite as you might expect? Okay, and currently he's now 1.06. So is he playing as if he should be 1.06, considering there's still a whole set left of the match? Okay, so here we took a very low risk position of laying Federer at 1.07, expecting that we should see a price correction during the second set if Kohlschreiber can keep it up. Again, we're laying low and we're backing high, and it is a risk of £28. We've got £400 of upside. And remember, that whole £28 is not going to be at risk. Okay, we can monitor the match, monitor the trade, and look to just get out for a minimal loss if it doesn't quite move in our favor. Okay, but in this case, the read was correct, and Kohlschreiber did score that first break point of the second set. The price on Federer rose to 1.19. Not the biggest swing, since it is Roger Federer after all. He's a big market favorite, and a bunch of people going to be backing him at whatever price, thinking it's free money. But anyway, a nice profit was locked in. Okay, we locked in a quick profit of £34. Okay, our total exposure to the market was £28, but that whole £28 wasn't at risk. But we profited £34. Okay, so it's a more than 100% return. Okay, and this strategy is pretty much the lay the leader strategy that is available on this YouTube channel. I'm going to try and put a link up there as well if you want to check that out. But this is a very good example of picking those opportunities where we're just spotting a price which doesn't seem correct. It did not seem like Federer, going back, should be 1.06. It looked like there was a correction that was due to happen. We got involved, and then we caught the swing. And let me just show you that swing here, okay? It went up, it went down, and Federer did indeed win the match. And remember what we spoke about earlier on in the video. We're not trying to beat the market efficiency. The markets were correct in that Federer was going to go on and win the match. But as tennis traders, we weren't interested in that. We were interested in the possibility of a price correction, of a price swing, which did happen. We caught it, we locked in a profit, and then after that, Federer got hold of the match and then went on to win pretty comfortably. Okay, so there is a good example, and it shows how the markets were right and the traders were right. We were both right. Okay. And another example here, we got Sloane Stephens. She scored a break point, converted a break point in the very first game of the match. She started that match as a 1.22 favourite, okay? Not arguing against the market efficiency at all. Probably was a justified 1.22 favourite. However, after just one game of the match, should her price have gone in half, down to 1.11? We haven't even seen her serve yet. So this is definitely another example of where you might feel the markets have got it wrong and the price is probably going to correct, and we're going to try and get involved in the market looking for that correction. Okay, and we also know, and if you've seen the video, there is a video on this YouTube channel showing you how to predict the odds movement. Very, very useful, because then we know just how far this trade can move against us. And by following that formula, we know that the worst case scenario, this price is only going to move into 1.08. So if we lay Sloane Stephens at 1.12, we're only risking 4 ticks if we don't get it right. So, we've got the whole first set, or the whole match, depending on which way you look at it. But we've got a long time in the market to try and win that trade. So we're risking 4 ticks to potentially win much more. And anyway, we've got £35 risk in the market, £250 worth of upside. But in this case, it was straight away in the next game. Pauline Parmentier, 4 minutes later, broke right back, and we cashed out for a profit. £35 was exposed in the market. In reality, we're only risking a fraction of that. Remember, it's a 4-tick potential loss, right? And we locked in £16, okay? Very quick. And that was, what, 4 minutes. And, you know, within 8 minutes of the match, we've caught our first significant move. And let me just show you on the chart. And this is early on in the match. This is why the chart doesn't really look that interesting. And there's probably a lot more swings to come. That was probably the first of many, many swings in that particular match. But you can see why we got involved in that, because she started as 1.22 favourite. Her price went in half within the first few minutes of the match. And there was a lot more time for that correction to happen. So I'd rather be laying at that particular point than looking to back. And we got it straight away. We could have got a higher price swing on Sloane Stephens if that break back happened later on in the first set. But as it was, I mean, we gained a quick 10 ticks, okay? So moving on, let's have a look at another one. Because as mentioned, laying low, backing high, it gives you huge upside. And it also means when you get it wrong, you're not risking that much relative to the profit potential. So we're going to look at an interesting example here before people accuse me of trying to cherry pick the trades. Okay, now this is a trade which didn't actually work out. Okay, this is actually a losing trade. So here's an example of it was John Isner and Evans. Okay, so John Isner is into 1.15, has broken, he's 3-1 up, but Evans looks like he's playing pretty well. Okay, so we thought that there would be a correction. We thought that it was too short for Isner to be halfway through the first set there, 14 minutes into the match, as you can see actually. So we thought that there was time for a correction. We laid Isner £200 upside, £32 of downside, and we thought that if we got that correction, the price on Isner could go back up to 1.5, so a significant amount of ticks that we could have gained there. However, didn't quite work out. We stayed in the market for the whole set, and in the end, Isner's price only moved into 1.11, and that was our exit point, and then we had to take an £8 loss. We had to exit at that particular point. And so you can see when you trade tennis this way, keep those losses small like this. And then you do not even need to win that many trades to profit long term. You might only need to win 30 or 40% out of 10, or sorry, 30, 40% of your trades in order to be profitable in the long term. Okay, so you could lose more trades than you actually win when you're trading tennis. So keep that in mind as well. However, I just want to show you a bit of a twist in the tail. Later in this same match, I kept the match on the TV, just following it, and we noticed that Evans was now playing much better again. Okay, now Isner's price, it was what, 3-2 in the second set. He had drifted a little bit, which kind of makes you feel that it wasn't just us who spotted that opportunity, but it did not feel like Isner should be 1.17. It felt like a lot more of an even match, although Isner has won the first set. So we thought it's a much more even match. considering Isner has won the first set, maybe the prices shouldn't correct to evens, but maybe they'll correct to like 1.5 or 1.6. So we went in again, okay? We just took a chance to go in again. And this is something you can do when you're trading tennis, as long as you've got your stop loss per match in place, so you're not just chasing losses or anything like that. And so we went in again. We laid Isner again with £200. Now we were exposed £42. This time we got it. And there was a drift on Isner. He went up to 1.52, and then we cashed out, and it wiped out that earlier loss. And now we locked in a healthy profit, and that is something that can happen a lot in tennis trading. It always gives you a chance, okay? Just because you lost that first trade doesn't mean it's all over, okay? Doesn't mean that's it. You got to just move on with the day. There could, or more than likely, there will be more opportunities, and there'll be opportunities to wipe out that loss and then actually put yourself into profit, okay? So the price correct we expected had happened. We were out the market, and as you can see, there's opportunities all the time when trading tennis if you keep your eye on the ball. And just to be clear, if that trade didn't quite work out, we're probably adding another £8 loss onto what was our red screen. So then it's £16 loss in total, which is still not a bad risk-reward ratio. But anyway, I just want to clear up a tennis trading myth here, okay? That tennis trading is easy and every match will have crazy price swings, because you might have now watched this video and just feel like, oh, okay, it's that simple. Let me just dive into the markets and do that. Lay low, back high, every single player I can find. I'm going to be rich soon, and then I'm going to be off to the Bahamas drinking rum punches on the beach. It doesn't quite work like that, and this was a mistake I originally made when I was trading tennis, until I realized the best way to approach this was to actually profile the matches in advance with some pre-match research, okay? There are a lot of matches every day, especially at the moment. There is so much tennis being played that you do really need to kind of filter down the very best matches. And again, remember, we're not trying to spot the winners of these matches. We just want to get an idea that the price is wrong. And so, and this is something I teach you inside the Ultimate Tennis Trading course, is that we have a 30-second method. It's a 30-second method to help me find and filter those matches that were likely to prove profitable and likely to have all those price swings, okay? And it really, really does take 30 seconds. Some will argue it's too simplistic, but like I said, we're not trying to pick the winners. We're not trying to even find value. I wouldn't say that this is a way to find value in the markets. It is a way to help us find matches like this, okay? And like I said, it takes 30 seconds. Once you know what to look for, you can narrow down these matches, and most of the time you're going to be finding exactly these sorts of matches. And so you'll know to get involved in those matches, and you know that when you can get involved with those lay low, back high opportunities and catch lots and lots and lots of swings, okay? Buying the dip and then selling when the price corrects, okay? Simple as that. But of course, there are more strategies to it, and as mentioned, currently the doors are opening to the premium course, Ultimate Tennis Trading, where you will get all the strategies, okay? You get 3 low-risk strategies, 1 for each set, and then 2 advanced strategies that are bundled in for no extra charge. And most importantly, you learn how to trade a tennis match from start to finish, even if you know nothing about tennis, okay? And as mentioned, I'll show you how to do the pre-match research to pick out your own trades and pick out those ideal matches for trading. And then also how to read a tennis match, okay? And how you can spot those opportunities in play. You know, similar to how I spotted similar opportunities in this video. I'll show you how you can do that just by following a few very simple things that happen during a tennis match, and then you could get an idea of a potential good low risk, lay low, back high, buy the dip opportunity. Okay, so anyway, either way, if you are interested, the doors will close on Friday night at midnight, and remember, this is the first time we've opened Ultimate Tennis Trading for over a year, and who knows, it might be another year. I do hope not. But either way, you do not want to miss out on this if you do want to learn tennis trading in full. Link is in the description. Click on that, submit your very best email address, and if there are still spaces and spots available, you should get a reply within 24 hours. If not, you'll have to go on the waiting list for the next opening. Do not miss out on that. But anyway, in this video, I did touch on the main secrets behind trading tennis on Betfair. But if you haven't yet seen the best tennis trading strategies to use, then check out this video on the screen right now. I'll show you all the main strategies alongside lots of real life demonstrations to back it up. Go click through and I'll see you in the next video.